Something else that is stupid.
Congratulations.
The Thunder are the number one seed and could have 2 lottery picks next year. Um, they have the Rockets first round pick, which is top 4 protected, and they have the Jazz first round pick, which is top 10 protected, and they have the Clippers first round pick, which is not protected. So the Rockets don't look like they're going to be. Well, of course, it's a lottery, so it's a little different. But the Rockets are not the 4th worst team in the league, I don't believe. Neither are the
Not as long as
Jazz.
Detroit and San Antonio. And not the Pistons. I mean, hold on. Pistons, San Antonio. Hold on. This is the reason we have computers.
Charlotte, Portland,
Yes.
Washington. That's 5.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's 5 right there. And I think the Rockets are on the Nets. Are on the net right below the
Let's
Nets.
look here. Yeah, Wizards, Pistons, Hornets, and then let's look at the West. Spurs. Oh, don't forget about the Grizzlies. And yeah, Spurs, Blazers, Grizzlies, Jazz, all worse than the Rockets.
Yeah, so unless, something happens with the ping pong balls, they're gonna get that Rockets pick, and that could be like a number 8, which would be crazy.
Yep. And you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna go get another 7-footer who can dribble and pass and shoot. Watch and
Nah,
see.
they're gonna package that pick with Josh Giddey and somebody else, and they're gonna go get somebody. They're gonna go get a vet. Remember, they were talking about trading their picks. They was like, we don't need them. Like, we need. Remember, they said that this year. They said that during
Yeah,
the year.
but I mean, who can you get?
Man, anybody. And for a right amount of picks and a couple players, I mean, they go get Trey, bring Trey home. Like, they could go get DeJounte. They could get DeJounte. Yeah, they could. They get DeJounte. Put him next to Shy. There you go. That's a crazy defensive backcourt. 6'8", 6'4", both can score.
Shea, Murray, Williams, Chet, Cheese, and Dort.
And Dort. With Dort at the 3, bro, you ain't dribbling the ball. What you doing? Who you going?
And the fact that DeJounte and Shea are big enough, Dort's height is, and you got Chet, who's going to be second in blocks for the next 40 years to Wemby. Yeah, you covered. You covered.
They can go get
No,
anybody.
Jalen Williams.
Yeah. Jalen too. That would be the 4. Jalen would be the 4. Chet would be the 5.
Yeah.
And then they have all those players on the bench.
Yeah.
They don't need a free agent sneaky. They can get anybody. If they get 2 first-round picks in the lottery, they can. The Oklahoma Thunder could go get almost anybody not named like Jalen Brunson or Jimmy Butler, LeBron type. All those players would stay. Kevin Durant.
That's what I was thinking.
But you could go get. You could go
get LeBron. LeBron is cheating.
Put him at the 3. You can go get LeBron.
And they got enough picks. What picks you want? We want Bron.
They got all the picks. Oklahoma City is.
How many does it take? How many of these would you like?
Because y'all don't have any.
You want 4 first-round picks for LeBron? Cool story.
Right now.
I give them to you. Yeah.
Go get Steph.
Like, oh yeah, I got Chet, I got Williams, I got Shea. I finally get to kick my feet up.
Who's a defensive person that you could go get? Is a defensive player that you could get at the back, and then we'll move on to President Steph.
Hunter off the bench.
Hunter. You don't need a scorer. You just need a straight defensive player. Ooh, you know who would be crazy on this team? Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons would be insane. Or they gonna get Jalen Johnson. You give us 3 first-round picks. Like, that's what I'm saying. You could go get somebody like Jalen Johnson.
Yeah. But I ain't letting Jalen Johnson. He's on the do not touch list. You can't afford to give him up.
3 first round
Not right
picks.
now.
You got him in the second round, and they give you 3 first round picks.
Trey's contract is up in 2026 now.
Yeah,
So
there's another one sneaky. Michael Bridges. That's
that's the
crazy.
one. That's the answer.
That's crazy.
That's
That's
the
crazy.
damn answer.
But moving on, man. So Steph Curry.
Or I tell you the right guy next season, Bowl. I'll get him in free agency. I don't think the Suns gonna pay him no money. Whatever you ask for, I'll pay you a little bit more. And Chet and Bowl and Dort. Oh, and you still could go. I'll be honest, Dort, you probably out of there. No. Yes. No.
Yeah, if you go get
I'm
a
moving
4. Yeah,
I'm moving
Giddy's the
I
first
can
to go.
move Dort to the 2. Yeah, Williams at the 3, Bowl at the 4, Chet at the 5. Everybody can dribble. Everybody can shoot. What? And we playing that fun basketball too.
Yeah. You can go to the Spurs. You could really go to the Spurs. You could go to, but you're not going to arm your enemies. You could go to the Pacers. You go to the Pistons. You can get whoever you want off the Pistons. There's really no limit to what they can do. So I expect that now you're right. When you have all of this, you probably will go get a bigger name. There's no need for you to get another you're trying to get somebody. You're right. Dort doesn't have to start. He come off the bench. He does have a manageable contract. Yeah. But you could go get somebody. You're right. Speaking of the future, let's talk about what these folks have coming up.
Giddy's inability to shoot makes him very movable.
So LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. As brands have gotten bigger, you've seen Kevin Durant with the boardroom, Steph Curry with Under Armour, LeBron with the shop and all of that uninterrupted and all of that stuff that he's doing. They're kind of transitioning into the next wave of life. And an interesting conversation came up with Steph Curry when he had a conversation with CBS on the morning news as a special. Curry says they asked him about potentially running for president. And he says, I have interest leveraging every part of my influence for good, and didn't rule out talking about going into politics.
That's such a cold ass answer. I have an interest in leveraging every part of my influence, everything for good. Yeah, that's a presidential statement. That's it. And he's the babyface assassin.
Where do you think where would he run? In California or Charlotte?
Pick your poison.
I think he would do better in Cali. I don't know. Charlotte is still, Charlotte, well, you seen the candidates from Charlotte this year in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Skin folk
I think
ain't
that's the reason. I think that's the reason in Charlotte, they got to do, what's his name? Tim Robinson. Steph smokes Tim Robinson. Yeah.
Not in the
because
South,
she's
bro.
going. Steph is going to get more people to come out and vote.
Fair. You will get more people to come out and vote, but we are still. You're still in the South now.
Hey, Stacey Abrams can do it. Steph can do it for sure. I've seen that man make every shot. I don't think that this is going to be any different.
Steffi, she lost.
Yeah, but she also flipped. She helped flip the stage. Is what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it would be. I'm interested to see it. I'm interested to see Steph and what he does next. LeBron, speaking of what he's doing next, he's transitioning into the next phase of life. LeBron and JJ Redick are now about to start a podcast called. It's supposed to be a free-flowing conversation about the sport of basketball called Mind the Game. Where
tomorrow
starts tomorrow. What's interesting about
1 trillion views.
I watched the little trailer they posted. Boy, they about to get real. It's gonna be some real technical conversation in basketball. They already starting to throw out the basketball acronyms, BOB, baseline out of bounds and all of that other stuff. This is almost going to be like coach speak. This is basically a coaching seminar 101. I
Yeah.
expect all my little league coaches, Mark, you a good coach, coaching little league around the Southwest Atlanta area. I expect all my coaches to listen to this all the time.
Oh
This
yeah,
is where they're going to
absolutely.
tap
Like
in.
this is elite basketball nerding out. I think that this is what before unfortunately we lost Kobe. I think that this was where he was stepping up into was like really giving the casual fan the deep NBA thought process behind what basketball really is. JJ Redick, who has an enormously exactly sneaky, but JJ Redick, who has an enormously successful podcast, Old Man and Three, and then you add LeBron. I mean, that's like Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams. Yes, everybody's gonna watch.
Yeah, I mean,
And this
yeah,
is the first time you've ever had a guy like like I said, I think this is what Kobe was about to do, but no, you don't really get a lot of LeBrons like other than like the shop. I assume that this will be more regular, and yeah, we just want to hear what he thinks about knowing that he knows everything about basketball.
yeah. I
Explain it to
wonder
me.
what
Make it make
platform.
sense.
I wonder what platform is going to come out on. I'm assuming it's coming out on LeBron's platform. That's pretty much all he does. He doesn't really do anything else. Like
Talking
everything
about on
is
the
in
NBA
house.
platform. What are you talking about? Adam Silver, like, no. We do podcasts now. No, y'all, no, this one, we
So you're right. It's
100% going
probably,
this
what
one.
do you call that? A joint venture. It's probably a
Yeah.
joint venture. So you're right. You're right. You're right. And then of course, there is. Yo, that really could be the name of this podcast. There's the other end of the spectrum, where Lamar Odom and Caitlyn Jenner team up to launch a new sports podcast together. It's called Keeping Up with Sports, which will have two sports champions interviewing various guests along with their co-host Zach Hirsch. The first guest on their show will be Sugar Ray Leonard. Other upcoming guests are Amber Rose, Zab Judah, Steve O, Bryce Hall, and many, many more. Their former in-laws, Lamar being used to be married to Khloe Kardashian, and Caitlyn formerly being married to Kris Jenner. How y'all feel about it?
Number one, they just missed the marketing opportunity with the name of this. There are so many good names here. Um,
I'm immature. Go ahead.
may, go right to the pregame. Could have went right there. That could have been.
Y'all go. Or lack thereof at the end. Like that.
No, they both. I mean,
Oh.
yeah, but
Oh, I know the soundtrack, but I can't play the song. But there's a song. Top and bottom. That's the name of the song. It's funny. But yeah, man, I think this will be pretty entertaining. I will say, outside of the Kardashian show, you haven't really, or I haven't. Maybe I'm just not in my algorithm. But yeah, has Caitlyn Jenner been like active in the media?
a little bit here and there.
Like, and I'm not talking
Um,
about like being the subject. I'm talking about like being the interviewer, or not interviewer, but like being the host of something. Or has that happened?
I think so. I'm not exactly sure, but I think so. Yeah, it's
Don't know what to say.
yeah. I mean, it's just so many jokes. I'm gonna go to Twitter and just see. Um,
You want to move on, man?
it's yeah, it's gonna be something. The Twitter is where it's gonna be funny.
Which podcast does better in terms of views?
It's not fair. It's LeBron. We want like now. I will tell you that I think that Caitlyn Jenner and Lamar Odom, if done right, which I already saw the Sugar Ray Leonard episode, like it's not gonna be what I would want. They do have potential, but I don't think that either one of them and they both trying to be like legitimize themselves for different reasons, and more straight laced. But if they have fun with it, it could get funny. But they're just not trying to be funny.
Well, I mean, it can evolve if as long as they have enough viewership and clout amongst their names that they have time to bring this up to speed. And I don't know. I do think LeBron and JJ will do well, but I mean, both are targeting I won't say targeting specific markets, but have a specific following. Like LeBron, so you both followings show up and show out too. So
Yeah.
and it's a lot more encompassing from Caitlyn Jenner and Lamar, because you have two dynamics. You have the people that like basketball. You have the whole everything over there with Caitlyn Jenner, and both. You have people that like both. So then you have the Kardashian part to it. So you have all of these things. I think they could, like, if they do it right, like you said, and they evolve this, they could take off, man. They got to be in.
The Kardashian women gonna get their men paid.
Yeah, they gonna take care of it, dog. It's definitely.